everybody, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your host, the Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 20 to 25-ish minute review. I have to say that now, because only the bad ones are going to be 10-ish minute. First of all, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Right now, we're at 1,580 subscribers, and we're slowly moving towards the goal of 2,000, which I think I will hit. If I hit something that goes viral, boom, we got it. And I want you to know I appreciate those of you that stick around. You keep giving recommendations. You give me comments, which I love, and I try to answer. I try to respond to most comments. I will say this. Sometimes you guys recommend movies that I've already reviewed, and you're probably not looking at the catalog that I have. So my advice is if you come to my channel and you got the little search window for my channel, type in the movie, and if I reviewed it, it's going to show up. Okay? So that's happened a few times. And if it's a movie I reviewed, like someone mentioned The Crew with Kareena Kapoor and Taboo, I reviewed that on the old channel. So what I'll also do is I'll in the reply, I'll put the link to the review so you can watch it from the old channel. It's going to look a little different, but it's the same thing. Okay. So here's the film. And this was not recommended by somebody. I did a trailer reaction on this film, and now the film's out and it was on Netflix. So I watched, I think it was Netflix. It might have been Z5. I'm not sure. But the film is Tehran, directed by Arjun Gopalan, starring John Abraham, who you guys know I'm a big fan of. He was in Dhoom, Madres Cafe, Zinda, amongst others that I've seen. Manushi Chhillar, Neeru Bajwa, Adam Karst, who was in Equalizer 2, and the bad guy in this film, a good bad guy, Hadi Khanjanpour. This is inspired by true events, and it follows a 2012 bomb blast in Delhi, and it's also set against the Iran-Israel conflict. So the story is actually pretty simple. John Abraham plays ACP Raj. Wait, I want to get the name right. Rajiv RK, they call him. And they tell you right away who this guy is. His entrance. You know, I've seen movies where he's picked up a motorcycle and that's his entrance. In this, he's interrogating somebody, a suspect, and ends up shooting them. That's his introduction. And this was not when you think of some of the action movies and the action stars, this is a much more complex character that he's playing than that typical action hero. And he's done that a few times. Madres Cafe was like that too. You know, in what was it? Was it No Smoking? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it was called. That was a strange movie, but he was really good in it. So the story is there's a bombing that takes place in India, and a little girl who's selling flowers gets killed. And he has a child also. And that death haunts him throughout this movie. And the movie is India wants to find the mastermind of this bombing and how they go about it. And it's a very, the first half of the movie is very procedural. They interrogate people. They're investigating, forensics, collecting evidence. Not a lot of action. And then he realizes that the person is in Tehran. So he's got to go to Tehran to get this guy. And he's got a team that works with him who are very good. And then it turns into this, because there's I want to get all the countries right, because there's a lot of countries involved with this. Where I know I wrote this down. Where is it? Oh, India, Iran, Israel, and Abu Dhabi ultimately want him dead. India doesn't want him to solve this because they are trying to get a gas deal with Iran. Iran wants him dead. Israel, they want to do this. They don't want him to do it. I don't know why Abu Dhabi. I can't remember why they want him dead. But ultimately, that's the story of the film. And at one point, he's got to go at it alone because some of his team gets killed. He doesn't have the government support anymore. India's not going to support this mission. They have to abort the mission, but he won't do it because he's haunted by this young girl's death. Um, because he was in the hospital when she died, and it's just he has nightmares throughout the film. And then he finally gets into Tehran, and then and this is I've seen this in a few movies, so this isn't completely original, but he finally confronts the bad guy who was excellent in this. He was a great bad guy. Um, and he succeeds in his mission. Now he's got to get out of Tehran, and that becomes, the last, I don't know, 20 minutes or so of the movie. So the story itself, I'll give uh, I'll give a 3 because it's not that it was a bad story. It's just that it's not really new, even though it's based on actual events. It's not new. You've seen this before. One man against armies, right? Trying to for that ultimate goal. Now, as far as the performances go, I thought the performances were everybody I thought was really good in this. Now, obviously, it's a John Abraham film, and he was he was he was yes, he was a super strong, I mean, great fighter and stuff, but he was also a little vulnerable. He showed a lot of emotion in this film. There was some complexities to his character as people around him are getting killed for him to achieve this mission and the guilt of that. And even the scene and I mean, it just came out. I hate to spoil things, but it's based on an actual event. So if you don't want to know, walk away. But even with the bad guy at the end, who you want dead, he it's not that he has sympathy for the guy, but he like offers him a cigarette and they're talking. And the guy's like, what are you going to do now? And what he ends up doing is there was a the bad guy's second lieutenant, and by the bad guy's name was Afsar. He used his right hand man as bait to get RK, put a tracker on him, and the lieutenant figures that out. So at the end of the film, RK Abraham gives him the gun and says, "Go ahead, do what you got to do." And that's how the bad guy ended up getting killed. But before he did that, he John Abraham made him call his own wife to confess what he did with the bombing, which I thought was great. So the performances I'm going to give a 4 on the strength of Abraham and Khanjanpour. They were both really good in this. And his crew was good too. And the guys that helped him, like someone from the Mossad helped him. But they all end up dead, most of them. Great firefight scenes, firefights with guns. Um, and my complaint on some of these films is always the same. They never miss a shot. Everybody misses them. It happens a lot. Let's see. There's an awful scene where the bad guy. This is why you want the bad guy dead. He ends up like bludgeoning with a hammer a rabbi just over and over again. It was an awful scene. Interrogation. And on the back of the wall, there's a sign that says "Free Palestine." Yeah, I wonder why that was there. Um, let's see. They cover up. Oh yeah, one of the Divya who works with him ends up getting killed in battle, and India covers it up. Says she was in an accident. So India's complicit in this whole thing too, and he really is by himself. Even Tamir, who I think was with the Mossad, um, doesn't want to work with him at first, and then ends up working with him, ends up getting killed, but saving his life before he dies. Abraham's character. Um, and then at the end of the film, they say, because the film hinges on this gas deal between Iran and Israel, excuse me, in India. And there's a lot of politicking going on. You know, they got these scenes with politicians figuring out what they're going to do. Well, at the end, and this was set obviously right after the bombing. Um, yeah, 2013. Um, and they said at the end, they said the actual gas deal that was in play was canceled in 2020, so it never happened. So as far as music goes, the music was fine. There was no musical numbers. This it wouldn't have worked in this. The background score was good. I gave the music a three. Didn't help. Didn't hurt. So I give that a three. Uh, Overall, my verdict, I would give. I got to tell you, I'm going to give it a four because it really did. I found his character really interesting. I thought the bad guy was great, and I was invested in the mission. So I really liked it. I really like John Abraham. I think he's a good actor. Um, and he makes interesting choices too with his roles. For a guy, you know, like the guy's jacked. He's a giant. So to see him play these kind of roles, I really enjoy. So I liked it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Even though I gave away some spoilers, listen, it's based on a true event, so you probably know it already. Okay, so that's my review of that. Okay, now it's John's recommendation. Okay, so in keeping with the theme of one man in the desert, because that was kind of, you know, there was a lot in the desert in Tehran. I'm recommend a classic film, not black and white 1930s film. I'm going to recommend 1962's Lawrence of Arabia, the epic story of T.E. Lawrence, who was involved in the Arab tribes fighting the Turks in World War One. This is an amazingly beautiful film. It is a gorgeous film. Of course, it is because it's directed by David Lean, who also directed Bridge over the River Kwai, one of my favorite war movies of all time. And the cast is phenomenal. Peter O'Toole as T.E. Lawrence, Alec Guinness, Omar Sharif, Jack Hawkins, Claude Rains, Jose Ferrer, amongst others. It's it's if you've never seen it, it's just an incredibly shot film. And you know, and you watch this in film school. But one of the most famous shots, and a brave shot too, was the introduction of Omar Sharif's character, while T.E. By Lawrence is at a little well. And off in the distance, way distance, you see a speck coming closer. And you see you know, with the sun, you can kind of see, you know, the wave, not waves, but the sun off the sand, right? But the shot takes forever, and it takes him forever to come to the well. And it's a brave shot to do because it takes so long. But also with the scope of the film, it just looks gigantic, like you know, the shot, and that's his introduction to this character that he plays. It's beautiful, and all the shots in the desert and the battle scenes against the train, the camel riding.
Who is he?
It's a fantastic movie, and if you ever see anything about the making of the film, you should watch that too because this was a difficult film for all involved. But I think it's one of the most beautiful films of that era. It just is gorgeous. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And Peter O'Toole is outstanding in the film too. But he had problems with David Lean. And what film? There was another film that Lean wanted him to do. I can't remember. And O'Toole wouldn't do it. Um, he just said, "No, I can't. I can't work with you again for whatever reason." But check it out if you get a chance. Okay. All right. So that's it. If you're new to the channel, I hope I've earned your subscription. So please hit the like button. Hit the like button. My goodness, how hard is that? Just hit it. And share and share it because I'm trying to build a maniac community, right? 2000. If every one of you share this with one person and they subscribe, come on, 5,000 right there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And hit the notification button too so you know when new ones come out, whether it's a trailer, whether it's a review. Okay? That's it. I appreciate you guys watching, as always. And keep the recommendations coming. Keep the trailer reaction, the ones you want me to react to. If one comes out, hit me in the comment section. I'll get it out as quickly as I can, okay? All right, that's it. We'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema with either a 10-ish to 25-ish minute review or a trailer reaction. Thanks for watching, everyone.